بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. في ذكرى الفتح العمري على يد الفاروق أمير المؤمنين عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه في مثل يوم أمس الجمعة.
On the anniversary of the conquest of Umar ibn Khattab to Bayt al-Maqdis, on the 4th of Jumada, the second, on the year 16 after the Hijrah, we would like to welcome you all to this program, both the Islamic Jerusalem International Program, together with a number of universities and across the world, particularly in Turkey, the Mardin Architecture University, Social Sciences University of Ankara, University of Utara, Malaysia, and also the Unwan in Malaysia and the Academy for Islamic Jerusalem Studies in the UK, and also from Indonesia Institute of Al-Aqsa. We will be listening directly to Sheikh Salah, who is the Sheikh of Al-Aqsa. He will be speaking to us on this day, on this issue, in 5 languages, as this important topic will be broadcasted into 4 other languages as he is speaking. I would not like to extend my speech. I would like to listen to Sheikh Salah directly. Without further ado, we would like to listen directly from Sheikh of Al-Aqsa to the future of Al-Masjid al-Aqsa. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most kind, peace and blessings upon the final messenger and his family and his companions. I would like to thank all those who have organized this event. We would like to extend to them a Jerusalemite greeting from the surroundings of Bayt al-Maqdis, and I will do my best to speak directly through a number of points, and I hope I will be able to extend and explain and to be beneficial to all those who are listening. An important terminology I've heard from Professor Abdul Fattah Lawesi, which is his saying, which he said the international academic project. And this is extremely important, that we need to give it utmost importance, particularly when we talk about Bayt al-Maqdis, Islamic Jerusalem, and Al-Aqsa Mosque. It has to be very clear to the whole of the Muslim Ummah, and also to the Palestinians and to the Arabs, to every human. What is Al-Masjid al-Aqsa? What is Al-Quds? And why is it important, and why is it blessed? All these questions need to be clear, and we have to do our utmost best to make sure that it is very clear to the whole world. I will try my best to explain this as much as I can, and particularly in these difficult days that we are living through. We all have heard the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and it's an authentic hadith in which the Prophet says, the hadith is from Abu Dhar, in which he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which is the second mosque built on earth? He said, the second, the Al-Haram mosque. The second mosque, he said, Al-Aqsa mosque. I said, how long was between them? He said, 40 years. This is extremely important. And I would like to stop here at this very important issue. This international project on Islamic Jerusalem studies is extremely important. And starting from this hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he is giving us very important information on this issue. He is saying that on the face of this earth, this is the second mosque built on earth, Al-Aqsa Mosque. And this, we are certain the existence of Al-Haram Mosque from the time of Prophet Adam. Both Al-Haram Mosque and Al-Aqsa Mosque, when we see this hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ tells us clearly that within 40 years of the building of Al-Haram Mosque, we also have Al-Aqsa Mosque has been on the face of this earth right from the beginning of humanity. It is an ancient story starting with Prophet Adam, with the first human. It is not just a story of a mosque. Its history starts again, does not start with the occupation of the Zionists in 1967. The life of this mosque, the history of this mosque is older than the history of the whole of humanity. The whole of those who have done injustice, of all colonialists. Al-Aqsa is older than all of them. Its barakah, its holiness, its steadfastness exists right from the beginning, from the time of Prophet Adam, peace be upon him. This is a very important issue that we need to focus and have on the minds of all people. And this important project, the Islamic Jerusalem Studies project, this issue needs to be well established within. This is a very important issue that we need to focus on so that it is very clear. The second issue, this hadith actually means, from its importance, that the first building, in the whole of the land of the Barakah, in the whole of the Bilad al-Sham, the extended or Bayt al-Maqdis and its surroundings, its aknaf, Bilad al-Sham, the first building that was ever created in the land of Bayt al-Maqdis and its surrounding is Al-Aqsa Mosque. So the first ever building to have been built is the building of Al-Masjid al-Aqsa. It is linked, it is the key, it is the foundation, and those who have come after it. After this, then other buildings were created, other cities and other sites, whether churches or other religious buildings, were later added, but Al-Aqsa Mosque comes well before any other structure in the holy city. It goes back all the way to the time of Prophet Adam, peace be upon him. So those who try to claim that there was a temple underneath Al-Aqsa Mosque, or that there was a second temple, he is only kidding himself and deceiving history and trying to rewrite history in another way. The start of the whole of the history of humanity starts with Al-Aqsa, and this extends to the whole world. This, with the first human on this earth, the building of Al-Aqsa Mosque started. Then after that, many other buildings. Here we can see it with token confidence. Al-Aqsa is established on strong foundations that have been existing since the first human on this earth. Our job is to preserve the foundation of this mosque so we are able to protect Al-Aqsa Mosque and to protect the existence of this civilization and its long history from the first human, the first Prophet Adam, all the way to today. Also, we need to research in this project of Islamic Jerusalem Studies, to research Al-Aqsa Mosque in every single aspect and to present the that this narration, which is sound Hassan narration, that the first one to make i'tikaf in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa was Prophet Adam. So from the first human, it is very clear that Al-Aqsa had a very important connection with the first human and other humans who have come to follow and worship in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Many other prophets came and continued this monotheistic religion and Tawheed and preserved the holiness of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa as it was from the beginning, and stress that it is a prophetic heritage. One prophet after another would come to this place, like prophets have been inheriting one from another the idea of monotheism and Tawheed, and only worshipping God, Allah, one single God. Like they have passed these three aspects, they also have inherited Al-Aqsa Mosque in order to save the whole of humanity from being misguided and keeping them back on the track of Tawheed and worshipping only one God. So in a sense, looking after Al-Aqsa Mosque, praying, worshipping, protecting Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is the clear line that all prophets, one after the other, with honor, with Prophet Adam, the first human to have made i'tikaf, seclusion in Al-Aqsa Mosque, and he protected the Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, the Prophet Zakaria, Yahya, Dawood, all of them have supported and protected Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa as part of this prophetic legacy. This has to be very clear for all academically, that this narrative has to be very clear, that all of this is a prophetic heritage, inherited from the first human and all these prophets, and all from the first all the way to the last inheritor, who is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. These prophets who have passed on the message of Tawheed and protected Al-Aqsa Mosque, they inherited this idea and passed it from one another. All the prophets were for a single nation, for their own people, and all of them have protected Al-Aqsa until the final prophet, whom we are honored to be part of this prophetic legacy. All these prophetic actions and legacy was a preparation for the one that will be the seal of the prophets, who will take this final inheritance, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So when we say that we are the inheritance of this legacy, we say it. We are the only legitimate inheritors of this, starting from Adam, coming all from the first of the prophets, all the way to the final prophet. We are the ones that have inherited the legacy of David, Sulaiman, Dawood, Zakaria, Yahya. We are the inheritors, the legitimate inheritors. We are the ones that inherited from Prophet Muhammad the idea of protecting and preserving Al-Aqsa Mosque with this inclusive vision, with this clear global vision, which was completed with a summit that never ever happened in history.
يوم أن كانت رحلة الإسراء
during the night journey. During the night journey, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, one of the greatest nights in the life of the Prophet was handed when he prayed in Al-Aqsa Mosque. When he prayed in Al-Aqsa Mosque, he prayed in Al-Aqsa Mosque, and Jibreel asked him, the Archangel Gabriel asked him, do you know who prayed behind you, O Muhammad? Every prophet that Allah has ever sent had prayed behind you, O Muhammad. The number of prophets from the time of Adam all the way to Muhammad, we're talking about 140,000 prophets prayed behind Prophet Muhammad in Al-Aqsa Mosque. And here is an important point, which we see that the number of the prophets actually fits nicely with the extent of Al-Aqsa Mosque. So even if we give every prophet 1 meter squared, that we see it fits perfectly in this historical prayer that will never happen. Every inch in Al-Aqsa, every place a prophet has made ijda and ruku'ah. What does this prayer actually mean? Them praying behind Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the most important, that it was a prayer to Allah, yes, to God. But here, we are listening. These information need to be specified. Our Professor Abdul Fattah, this is very important, that all the prophets have given a pledge of allegiance to Muhammad, that he is the inheritor of the prophethood, and he is the inheritor of the Tawheed message. He is the inheritor of the renovation and preserving of Al-Aqsa Mosque. In this prayer, it was announced that he is the inheritor. It included all the prophets from Adam to Isa, all of them accepted now the legitimate inheritor is, and they gave the pledge to Prophet Muhammad that this is not a new start, but this is a continuation. And I would like to ask this field of Islamic Muslim studies to focus on this, in this international project, to focus on this, that this is what makes the Ummah of Muhammad a universal Ummah. This issue does not belong to Palestinians. This issue belongs to all of humanity. So the message that Muhammad inherited, the preserving of Al-Aqsa Mosque, he passed it to the universal Ummah. This is the message of Muhammad, the last messenger, as the seal of the prophets. His universal Ummah is the seal of all the nations that came before them. All the nations have been assimilated into the universal Ummah of Muhammad, which included all of them. This is how we understand. This is an issue of Aqidah creed. This is the issue of as the Quran makes it very clear and the Hadith makes it clear. Here, I would like to focus on the second point, that I would like this field of Islamic Muslim studies, this universal project, to focus on, that the Quran takes, Allah takes a pledge from two sides. Allah takes a pledge from his prophets, and he takes a second pledge from the children of Israel. Both of them have given that they will stay truthful to this pledge, that they shall be they will stay truthful to the message of Muhammad and the final prophet, and they were truthful to this during the night journey. The second pledge God takes, as he mentions in the Quran, from the children of Israel, that when the final prophet, when the seal of the prophet will come, that they find in their books, and they gave this pledge to God. When we talk about the Mescid al-Aqsa, we accept all this historical legacy, we accept this universality, and it goes beyond any race or nation or a particular race or a particular color. This extends, covers the whole of humanity. That the protection of the humanity's dignity and its role by protecting Al-Aqsa Mosque. As all the prophets before, starting from Adam all the way to Adam to Muhammad, peace be upon them all, this I'm giving my vision of Al-Aqsa Mosque, and my apologies if I am not clear in some of the issues that I'm presenting. And I apologize for hurrying my this issue. But here I would like to hear our teacher, our Ustad, Professor Abdul Fattah Al-Owaisi, in his introduction, he mentions he mentions all these institutions that have come together from different parts of the world for this inheritance of the inheritance of the Prophet, starting from Adam all the way to the end. This encourages me to say the following. I am really happy, and it makes me really happy when I know that there are hundreds of organizations today across the Muslim world, the Arab world, and in Palestine. All of it have united to protect this legacy of the Prophets, Al-Aqsa Mosque and Al-Quds, and all these organizations, they actually named themselves after the Mescid al-Aqsa. More than 100 organizations across the world use the name Al-Quds or Al-Aqsa. I would like to thank everyone, and I say to them, may Allah give you strength. And I would like you, our Ustad, Dr. Abdul Fattah, I would like that all these organizations come under one umbrella and are united under one umbrella with this knowledge, with its action, with its vision, with its ijtihad, with a clear aim and a clear goal. We'll just say it in one word and I'll leave the details to you. I wish so that the problem is we repeat ourselves. We need to complement each other. We need to complement one another. And this is something that I just say it generally, and I leave it to you, that one umbrella brings all these organizations that are working and standing to protect the dignity and freedom of Al-Quds and Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is the first thing I would like to ask. The second thing, I wish from all the organizations across the world that our rhetoric has to be positive. Yes, Al-Aqsa is under occupation. We see it live with our eyes. We see it in Al-Aqsa and with the people in Al-Aqsa Mosque against women and men. But, however, we have to be positive and we have to present our ideas positively, because this is a Quranic, historical, prophetic promise that it is a victorious issue. So then, why do we have to sound desperate and to sound negative? This is why we have to be hopeful. We have to be positive. It was ours before, it will continue. When it went through from one prophet to another, as it came through Prophet Muhammad, and as we are at the beginning in 2022, we speak positively and we put our tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we will soon be happy and rejoice when Al-Quds and Al-Aqsa will rejoice. When the new starting and the new beams of the Ummah, which will be from this eternal, you will see that the Crusader remains do not exist, and the current Zionist occupation will not continue, and any future occupation, no one will stay, no injustice will stay in this land. Here we, my apologies for this short for this short speech. But here I would like to ask our Ustad to pray for us. And here I would like to thank Sheikh Al-Aqsa for this important foundational issue, as it deals with this issue in terms of the history from Adam, all to seeing the future, the positive future of Al-Aqsa. I would like to thank you. Thousands have hear you from Indonesia all the way to Morocco in the west, and I know that you are extremely busy. But what we are doing in this project, of Islamic Muslim Studies, this universal project, from when you attended with us the first conference in 1997, this has become an institution, a worldwide institution. We conducted the 21st conference on the future of Al-Aqsa Mosque. What you are saying in this important talk now has been written in numerous languages: Arabic, English, Turkish, Malaysian, Indonesian, but they have transferred, some of your children have transferred this into a curriculum for children from the age of 8 till 18, and the first volume is Prophets and Bayt al-Maqdis, and I would like to give you this glad tidings. Al-Aqsa will be liberated as it was liberated before, and each one of us needs to do his work in his capabilities and be able to do this. And this project of Bayt al-Maqdis, we have been working on it for 3 decades, and you have been doing excellent. We learned from you when in 86, when you said, in 96, when you said Al-Aqsa is in danger, we learned from you. We were your echo in the West to spread this issue that many people are saying that Al-Aqsa is not in danger. Al-Aqsa is in danger. Al-Aqsa really in danger, and you are the foundation, and we are at your back, and we fight in the field of knowledge and academia, and we try our best to do this. Not behind your back, but here I would like to say that you are. I wrote this a few days ago. He's a mountain. He's a very few people are like him today. He is a man, and he is an ummah, in a man. I would like to thank him, and Allah protect him, and thank him for being with us. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. My greetings to everyone with us. Thank you. Thank you to everyone with us. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.